I'm back. I want to talk a little bit about, that's a lie. I want to talk a lot about three words that mean so much to me in my life. Three words that have changed my life and affected me in ways that I'm just not realizing at my big old age. I know you're probably thinking of like the typical three words. This is not probably the first thing that comes to your mind. I'll just let you know that. The three words are I see you. Think about those. I know I've spent countless therapy sessions talking about being seen, being heard, being understood as a basic need that is so important to my life, and how, in a lot of instances and ways, growing up and to present day, I haven't always felt seen, heard, or understood, and how that's affected me and the person I am today, recording this video and having this conversation with you. Why is it so important to me? I realized growing up and knowing that I was different, knowing that I wasn't what people wanted me to be. Let me just say it. I knew being gay and liking men was definitely not what my parents wanted me to be. It wasn't what my church wanted me to be. And I knew in my heart of hearts that what I was doing was wrong at the time, because that's all that I knew, was that the outside world was telling me that what I am doing is wrong. It's not of God and I'm going to hell. So I internalized a lot of that. And being that I didn't have any images or people around that knew, from my mouth, should I say, that knew that I was gay and gave me support, that it really affected a lot of the events of my childhood of growing up. And so I think I think it first started with my home life and really going into myself and trying to create a space and a place for myself where I knew that I would be okay. And later it was art. It was the music. As I talk about on here, how Mary J. Blige, saved my life at a very difficult time when I wanted to just end my life. And books, by knowing that there were other black gay men that were out there, in poetry and fiction and nonfiction and these biographies, and the people who came before me, that I wasn't the only one. And that was so important to me, to know that although my home life and the church and the world and students and everybody else made me feel like I was the only one, I knew I wasn't the only one. I knew that there were now people who before me were okay and they were all right. And I knew I had to get the hell out of Jacksonville. That was going to be the first step. But that's why it's so important to me. Had I had that growing up, had I known that there was a world, this world, the world that I'm thankful for, that I've been able to curate and choose, and choose a lot of things in my life for myself, should I say, because it's not been everything. I mean, I still live here in America, but being able to curate a life that is fulfilling and that's necessary to me, had my 15-year-old self known that and not been made to feel like I was the only one and that what I was doing was wrong, could have changed my life and opened up a world of possibility for me. And really, I think about the babies, as I call them, that are forging the path still, and that I learn from every day. The Zaya Wades that are fearless, and I shouldn't say fearless. I don't want to put that on them, but are able to just live their life and just exist and have that support by being seen, being heard, and understood, At least from what I can see on the outside. That makes a world of difference for all of us. And it should make a world of difference for all of us watching that life journey. So I look back on my childhood and I look back on that young person that I was at the time, and I'm gentle. I'm kind to that person. And I also talk a lot to my therapist about it and how it showed up to me as an adult in my relationships that I go through. I've spoken so much about in my romantic relationships not feeling heard, understood, seen, and how a lot of that has influenced my decision making and my choice of partners and how I want this relationship to continue. Those words, I see you, are really strong. As well, why is it important to me? As an actor, it informs a lot of the stories that I tell. I think I've been very fortunate to be able to be in projects that are familiar to me, and I know these characters. I'll never forget the experience of being able to read the words of one and two, Darnielle Love's play, and crying while reading it and saying, I know these people, I know these characters. I'm more than HIV, that I live this beautiful and vast life, and I have these conversations with my friends that aren't solely about traumatic experiences or just living with HIV. I get to love, I get to laugh, I get to dance and be joyful and be happy. I'm seen, I'm heard, I'm understood. And I get to have the pleasure of playing these characters. I'm so thankful. Even Daryl Grant's play, that I was playing a character named Kyle, and that I got to be my full self and make people laugh and bring joy to people and have the opportunity to change hearts and minds. And I'll tell a quick story. I know a lot of you may have already heard this story, but I don't care. I'm going to tell it till the day that I'm no longer here. Is the experience of going to Atlanta. I was going to Georgia State University, GSU, for the journalism program in my early 20s. I later didn't go, but I was there for orientation. But the highlight for me and my best friend that weekend was going to see Noah's Ark, or at least I'll say it was for me. I should ask him about that. I'm not really sure. I will never forget how impactful it was to sit in a theater, mainly of black gay men, and watch four black friends, four black gay friends, talk about friendship, love, life, adopting kids, the world. To me, just regular old conversations. But most importantly, I got to watch two black gay men in love get married, kiss, make love. And that opened up a world of possibilities for me. I never thought in my childhood that that would have been a possibility to be in a theater and get to see that. And that story sticks with me and it stays with me because that's the power of art. That's the power of being able to tell these stories and what is a part of this work. And hopefully these videos, as I am a narrative justice fellow, with CNP, of being able to shift a little bit of your heart and your mind and have these conversations with you all as often as we get to do. I also question, what does showing up for one another look like? And what does that support feel like, of giving it to another person, of being able to give a listening ear, holding hands, being quiet with someone else, of saying that I see you in your bright moments and the not so bright moments, that I see you, I understand, that I'm here for you and I'm compassionate. It's something I'm working on. I don't know if I've always created that space for my romantic partners. I don't know if I've always created that space in my friendships. I'm still working on it and I'm a work in progress because I know how good it feels when I hear it, and I want to be able to make sure that I'm giving that same opportunity to the others that I encounter and how I respond. And I think maybe later we'll have the conversation, is representation enough when it comes and being seen and being validated and being heard and being understood. Another conversation for another day. We got plenty of time. I would just want to hear from you all of those experiences. What does it feel like to you of hearing I see you and I understand? Has there been a time in your life? Just curious. So I want to continue to have these conversations, and I love reading all the comments and everything as we take this journey. So I would love, if you love this video, if you love this conversation, if you've heard something in it, to share it, to comment, to like, subscribe to CMP TV, all the incredible things and the work that we have here. I really believe in it. And I'm Michael Ward. So until next time, as always, be good to yourself. Y'all got me about to sit up here and cry on this video. Ah, got him.